Hi, my name is Umaya and my metric number is 186569 and I'll be the chairperson for today's discussion.
Okay, hi, my name is Farada Jobin Tiba Mazmani and my metric number is 188777.
Hi, my name is Razia binti Hamzah. My metric number is 100475.
Okay, and we're gonna explain on the physiology on
Ruminant stomach, which is Farah will be going to explain about
Rumen and
reticulum and rumen, and me will be explain about omasum and also abumasum.
Okay,
Thank you.
My name is Fatinur Ain binti Kamaru Bahrain. My metric number is 189638. I will talk about volatile fatty acid in this discussion. Next.
Hi, my name is Ain Adlina. My metric number is 189745. I'm going to discuss about cellulose digestion in ruminant.
Hi, my name is Siti Nara binti Azhar, 189690, and I'm going to talk about the complications of sodas on cattle.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sama. My metric number is 190667 and I'll be explaining the general concept of absorption.
So, hi everyone, my name is Umaya and we're here to discuss the, so we found out that this with cow has been, no sorry. Hi everyone, my name is Umaya and we're here to discuss this cow that has been consuming sawdust. Yeah. So it's been said that this cow has gotten into a storage room full of sawdust and he has eaten sawdust at the libitum, right? Yeah. So now we're here to discuss the biochemical processes that may have taken place and basically what has happened to this cow because he has consumed sawdust, right? Yeah. So first, who will be? Can anyone here tell us something about sawdust?
And I will share about what is sawdust actually. Sawdust wood dust is a byproduct of cutting, drilling or otherwise pulverizing wood or any other material with a saw. It is composed of fine particles of wood. It is also the byproduct of certain elements, birds and insects which live in wood, such as the woodpecker and carpenter ant. Sawdust basically come from wood. Thus, the chemical composition of sawdust are same like the chemical composition of the wood. So there are various species of wood on the earth, such as cherry, rosewood, and walnut. But approximately the chemical composition is 50% of carbon, 42% of oxygen, and 6% of hydrogen, and 1% of nitrogen, and 1% of other elements, mainly calcium, potassium, sodium, magnesium, iron, and manganese. Aside from water, wood has three main components, which is first cellulose. Cellulose actually is derived from glucose, and second component in sawdust is hemicellulose. Hemicellulose is mainly 5 carbon sugar that are linked in irregular manner, which is contra to the cellulose. And lignin is the third component of sawdust. At around 27 of sawdust or wood is lignin. So that's all. To summarize, what is sawdust is? Sawdust is actually come from wood, and the three components of sawdust is cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ihsan. So now that we've discussed what basically what cellulose is, I think maybe we have an idea of what might have happened to this cow if he ate cellulose. So I think, can we get some information about like the physiology of a cow's stomach? Can anyone? Physiology? Okay, you guys can discuss physiology of a cow's stomach, yeah?
So basically, in ruminant, they have four compartments, which is rumen, reticulum, muscle, and upper muscle. So, the mouth is the location where the food start to. So in ruminant stomach, they have four compartments, which is rumen, reticulum, omasum, and abomasum. So the mouth is the location where food enters the system and is chewed. So salivary glands are found in the mouth that secrete saliva and pH of 8.2. So saliva helps to reduce the acidity in the rumen, and it also helps to transfer food from mouth to rumen via the esophagus. So the rumen is the main fermentation bed where billions of bacteria, protozoa, and fungi attack and produce and break down food. So in the breakdown, it produces volatile fatty acids. Volatile fatty acids, the ruminant receives nutrients from volatile fatty acids, and the microbes that have been washed out of the rumen and digested in the small intestine. So a large portion of the cow's protein needs is supplied by these microbes. It is important to feed the animal and the microbial population in the rumen. So after fermentation in the rumen and reticulum, the food will pass to the omasum. So she will explain on the omasum.
So hi, I will explain about omasum and also abomasum. So basically, omasum is the third compartment of the stomach in the ruminants. So in omasum is the where inorganic minerals and water absorbed into the bloodstream. So the function of omasum basically is to filter and sort liquids and fine food particles. And also omasum is function has the absorption of water, magnesium, and volatile fatty acid produced by the rumen by fermentation process, but it doesn't absorb to the bloodstream yet. And omasum also has numerous folds of glucosa are used to trap digestive particles so that there are maximum number of nutrients can be absorbed into the bloodstream. So there in this compartment there is a structure called reticular rumen orifice, which is a junction that connect the omasum and reticular rumen. So there are research about that contraction of the omasum can propel large particles backwards through the reticulum orifice to the reticular rumen. So basically, reticular rumen is the first compartment of the stomach. So this allows further digestion. Next, abomasum. Abomasum is the fourth and the final stomach compartment of the ruminant. So abomasum is the largest compartment due to esophageal groove to direct air from the esophagus to the abomasum. This is the only site of the digestive tract which is produce gastric juice, and this the feed consumed by the ruminant remain in this abomasum for 1 to 2 hours only. So next, it will continue to small intestine, which is the further breakdown of food. There are pancreatic juice and enzymes are also bile that help to digest feed in upper pipe and produce and the product are absorbed at the lower pipe of the small intestine. And lastly, the large intestine, which is the residue of feed are deposit, and further fermentation and absorb of the feed continue, and the residue are exit has a menu. That's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Azila. So now that we have a basic understanding of what a cow's stomach is like, shall we use this in this context to try and figure out how cellulose is digested? Does anyone here know about the process of cellulose digestion in a cow's stomach?
Okay, I will explain about cellulose digestion in rumen. So as we all know that cellulose is a polysaccharide which is made up of C6, H10 and O528. So the cellulose have a very huge molecular weight which is around 400,000, and the structure of cellulose is quite similar to the starch. So cellulose is produced by plants and form the structure made of plant cell walls. And wood, which is a sawdust, such as a sawdust, is about 60% of cellulose, and a cotton contains over 90% of this material. So fibers of cellulose usually are pressed together to make a paper. And in ruminant, they have a bacteria in their stomach which break down cellulose into product that can be used by them. So as you can see here, they have lots of bacteria in abomasum, omasum, and also rumen for fermentation process. So chemical processes are available to convert cellulose to simple sugar through hydrolysis. So cellulose, they have many forms. They have a complex and also simple form. To break down the complex form of cellulose, in the rumen they have these fibrobacter succinogenes, and also ruminococci are used for to hydrolyze a simpler form of cellulose. So cellulose byproduct through hydrolysis process will be cellobiose and pentose disaccharide, which are very useful for rumen microbes. And the reactions produced other than byproduct is methane, which this methane will eventually pass out of the ruminant. And the microbes and ruminant usually live symbiotically, so that the microbes produce cellulase to break down cellulose for the ruminants while gaining a food source for their own sustenance. So basically that's how cellulose being digested in ruminant.
Okay. So cows have the ability to digest cellulose and wood in that case.
Yes.
So okay. So once cellulose is digested in a cow's stomach, how does it use? In what form does the cow use that to make energy?
I know. It uses volatile fatty acids. So, do you know what is volatile fatty acid?
No.
Volatile means easy to evaporate. Volatile. Fatty acid some sort of acid. So it means that acid that easy to evaporate. So it's used by the cow. So microbes in the rumen ferment the carbohydrate into volatile fatty acid, which are absorbed through the rumen wall into the bloodstream. But some of them are lost during eructation. Do you know what is eructation?
Eructation.
Yeah, eructation. Yes? Eructation is burping. The process of removal of gas from the stomach. Yeah, belching. Volatile fatty acid is the main energy source for ruminants, which is 70% of total energy is provided by volatile fatty acid. They are used primarily by organisms for reproduction and growth, and then the excess is used by ruminant itself. The volatile fatty acid have three components mainly. One is acetic acid, second is propanoic acid, third is butyric acid. Okay, the acetic acid is in 100% component of volatile fatty acid is 50 to 60%. Is the highest amount. It predominates on high roughage diet and is precursor for mammalian milk fat. Some is used for muscle metabolism and body fat. The second is propanoic acid. 12 to 18% of volatile fatty acid is propanoic acid. It predominates on high concentrate diet and provide energy via conversion of blood glucose in the liver. It is used in lactose synthesis, which is milk sugar.
The last acid is butyric acid. Butyric acid is about 18 to 20%. So it provides energy in the lumen wall and is used in milk fat synthesis for body fat when excess energy is present in the diet. It doesn't vary on proportion, means it is about 18 to 20%. It doesn't vary, but acetic acid and propanolic acid, it can vary the amount. So it has influence in milk fat content. So basically, volatile fatty acid is acids that easily evaporated. And it has 3 types: component, acetic acid, propanolic acid, and butyric acid. Yeah, wow, that was a really good description. So basically, you said that the main energy source for cattle is volatile fatty acids.
Yes.
And that comes from the digestion of cellulose. So we are coming to the conclusion that even though this cow consumes this much food, even because it's made of cellulose, it's not such a big problem, right?
Yes.
So volatile fatty acids can be absorbed by the cow into its system, right? So how is this absorption taking place?
Yes, I can explain that. Because you see, if we're talking about the nutrient contents of this sawdust, we need to know the mechanism of how it is absorbed into the body. So basically, absorption is the passage of digested food through the lining of the intestine into the blood or the lymph. Almost all absorption takes place in the small intestine, but for water, it takes place in the large intestine, which we also call the colon. During the course of digestion, carbohydrates are broken down into simple sugar. This sugar pass through the blood capillaries and into at the intestinal villi, which you can only see through a microscope. The digestion of fat will produce fatty acids and glycerol. These are absorbed through the intestinal wall by lacteals, which is like the blood capillaries but for transporting fats. For protein digestion, it produces amino acids, and they form, and in this form they are absorbed into the blood through the blood capillaries, just like super sugars. Now, substances are absorbed into the intestinal lining through various mechanisms. This includes passive diffusion and osmosis and active transportation. For passive diffusion and osmosis, it relies mainly on the concentration gradient because it flows through it. While for active transport, it uses energy to go against the concentration gradient. In the form of, the energy comes in the form of ATP mostly. So that's all for me.
Okay, so now we know that the cellulose is actually absorbed into the cow's body as volatile fatty acids. So basically, we come to the conclusion that even though this cow ate so much sawdust, there is no complications. Or are there any complications that we should discuss?
Okay, maybe I can explain. So, like what we discussing now, the sawdust will not affect the digestive system of the cattle, right? Because the sawdust is contain 50 to 60% of cellulose and about 30% of lignin, right? So you explain this now. Okay, so cellulose is an important component in cattle feeds as a source of energy, while lignin acts as a barrier to the digestibility of cellulose. So the cattle can hardly digest the sawdust, and the lignin can be removed or reduced by first treating the sawdust before it is fed to the animals. But in this case, maybe the cattle ate exceeded amount of sawdust. So as we know, sawdust contain up to 6 to 10 millions of particles per cubic foot of air. So pathological examinations reveal that lung effects ranging from the large abscesses to the bronchopneumonia and bronchitis. The nasal passage and upper respiratory tract of the cattle will be contained and accumulated by the sawdust. So in my opinion, it will cause the respiratory system infection in cattle. But first of all, let me explain further about the respiratory system. the respiratory system, called as respiratory apparatus or ventilatory system, is a biological system consisting of specific organs and structure used for the process of respirations in an organism. So, the respiratory system is involved in the intake and exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between an organism and the environment. So, in air breathing vertebrates like human, cattle, the respirations take place in the respiratory organs we call as lungs. So the passage of air into the lungs to supply the body with oxygen is known as inhalations, and the passage of air out of the lungs to expel carbon dioxide is known as exhalations. So this process is collectively called breathing or ventilations. In humans or other mammals, cattle, the anatomical features of the respiratory system include trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, and lungs and diaphragm. So, molecules of oxygen and carbon dioxide are passively exchanged by diffusion between the gaseous external environment and the blood. So, this exchange process occurs in the alveoli, air sacs in the lungs. So, here I want to talk about the bovine respiratory disease that's caused by the inhalations of the sawdust. Maybe when the cattle, when he eat the sawdust and maybe he inhales some of the sawdust, right? So maybe it can cause the lung infections. So the most famous lung infection is bovine respiratory disease (BRD). Is commonly associated with the infections of lungs, causing the pneumonia in recently weaned and fed-blood cattle, nursing beef cow, house dairy cow, and lactating dairy cows. So, disease of respiratory tract is a major problem for cattle, sheep, goats, and it continues to cause serious economic losses for the producers. Okay, so bovine, maybe Mr. Ko, right? Maybe he will lose his cattle. And then bovine respiratory disease cause increased death losses as well as medication cost, labor and loss production. So this BRD, bovine respiratory tract, is an upper respiratory tract infection. So these infections cause inflammation of nostril, throat, and windpipe, which is we call as trachea, because all the sawdust accumulate in their trachea. So the clinical signs may be usually mild and involve coughing, nasal discharge, fever, and decrease in appetite. So it will cause the diphtheria. Next, it will cause the diphtheria. Diphtheria is the infections involve the larynx, which is the voice box. So it will the voice will be like ooh, like I don't know how to describe, but it will disturb the voice box and may occur alone or along with other respiratory infections. So there are often loud noises during breathing, and the swelling may severely restrict the airflow and result in the death of the animals. So next, it will cause pneumonia, which is lower respiratory infections of the lungs. So infections of the lungs is often due to an infection from the upper respiratory tract or a failure of the mechanism which are designed to protect the lungs. So it is much more serious and causes more severe signs, and that does an upper respiratory infection. Shipping fever is one form of lower respiratory tract disease and derives its name from the usual occurrence of the disease shortly after shipment of the cattle. So like the clinical signs of most of the signs of BRD are nasal, eye distress, coughing, fever, decreased appetite, varying degrees of breathing, difficulty and noise, rapid breathing, depressions, droopy ears, open mouth breathing, and dates. So this vary greatly depending on the stage and extent of the disease process. So far it's the complication that I can assume that will happen to the cattle. That's all.
Wow. So far I think we're at a crossroad here because we're not sure if the cow will survive or not, right? Because we discussed that cellulose can actually be digested, but there are problems such as respiratory issues that may arise because this cow has consumed sawdust. So since it's an isolated incident, we cannot take it from here, but I actually have done some research and I found that in some places, farmers actually use sawdust as a replacement for feed. So there are actually cattle that thrive on sawdust-based feed. So as we discussed, we know that sawdust is made of wood, and wood contains cellulose and lignin, right? So this can actually, because it's plant-based, it can actually be used in emergency situations such as drought. So if the farmer cannot find enough roughage for the cattle to consume, sawdust is actually economical alternative because they're recycling something that will otherwise be wasted. Yeah? So, but of course we have to keep taking into consideration the fact that sawdust has no nutritive value because it's just wood, right? It's just cellulose. So because it has no nutritive value, we probably should not be giving cattle 100% sawdust-based feed. But since this cow has only had one isolated incident, I mean other than these complications, I think it should be okay. But based on my research, as long as the cow is fed 15% by weight of feed, as in if it's given, say if it's given 100% value of feed, only 15% of that should contain sawdust. So as long as that ratio is okay, the cow should be able to maintain its nutritive value. So the main function of giving sawdust to a cow in a farming, in an industrial setting, is to supplement the roughage content in the diet. Because without the roughage, the rumen cannot properly function.
Oh,
Yeah?
okay, yeah.
Yeah, so because this is mostly like a mechanical supplement. So like you said, because respiratory functions are when it inhales very fine sawdust, right?
Yeah.
So it's important that if you are supplementing a cow's diet, that you only supplement it with coarse sawdust. That means with big pieces of sawdust. So it does not inhale it and cause these diseases that you mentioned.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh yeah, bigger pieces of sawdust, not the fine dust. Yeah, even though it's called sawdust.
Making the sawdust be like a
Yeah, the big curls of sawdust that you have.
Is it wood, right?
Yeah.
Made from, oh,
Sawdust is actually made when you saw timber.
Oh.
The small strips of timber.
So we can fit.
You can, yeah.
Oh, okay. It's a new.
Because in Southeast Iowa, that's in the US, there is actually a cattle herd of Angus and Charolais that's been fed exclusively on sawdust.
Oh.
Like the farmer he's actually developed a method because the problem with sawdust is the lignin content. Because cellulose is digestible, right?
Yes.
So, but because he has developed a method to remove the lignin from the cellulose. So basically what he does is he soaks his sawdust in a 5% nitric acid solution for 1 hour and then he wash it thoroughly and then he soak it in a 5% solution of sodium hydroxide, wash again and air dry. So that breaks the cellulose lignin bond and then it can be fed. And the cows can actually use the cellulose because it's no longer bound to the lignin and the lignin will serve as the roughage. So it's actually a double-edged sword, you can use it for both things, nutrition and roughage.
This means the sawdust can be easily digested by
Yes,
cow.
because the lignin and the cellulose bond is broken. Yeah? So,
Maya, can I ask questions like, can sawdust replace the roughage?
It's actually a controversial issue because he is the only one that is saying that it can because this herd is being fed exclusively on sawdust. But researchers are saying that because it has no nutritive value, it's not a good idea. But even the vet who is looking after this cattle, it's a breeding herd of cattle, even the calves, everyone is completely healthy. So it's actually a very controversial issue that needs more research. But there are actually certain factors that you have to take into consideration because it's important not to use sawdust that has been treated with pesticides or treated timber, that means it's varnished because it can contain chemicals such as copper, cadmium and arsenic which can accumulate and be poisonous not just to the cattle but also to the humans who consume the meat. And also hardwood sawdust is preferable to cypress pine because cypress pine tends to have antifungal properties and you guys mentioned that the flora, the bacteria in the cow's stomach is important for fermentation, yeah. So antifungal cypress pine can actually kill that bacteria and make it impossible for the cow to digest.
We that such soda from specific wood that
Yeah.
can be.
Like you mentioned, there were different types of wood, yeah.
Yes.
So hardwoods are the best for feeding cattle.
Hardwoods, for example.
Hardwoods such as maybe walnut. Walnut is a hardwood, I believe. Yeah. So I think it's actually controversially true. So when we write this report about what will happen to Mr. Ku's cow, we should include both all possibilities, because I think this research will help to highlight the fact that this is not an issue unless it has been found in sawdust, which can lead to respiratory problems.
But I want to ask, different type of wood contribute different cellulose in content?
Different complication because different type of wood contain different type of chemical composition. So we don't know the percent of chemical composition that will affect our cattle when they are herd. So,
Our resident wood expert. Okay, so I think we have enough information to compile this report now.
Already?
Yeah?
Okay.